Hello and welcome back to Maincast Autumn Bro.
Привет, здравствуйте. Это нет русский stream. No, it's not Russian
I think
stream.
I've been spending too much time in Ukraine. They're starting to rub off on me.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's that what. Well, whatever.
No, you know what it
Actually,
is?
What?
It's CIS action because up next we've got Espada versus Empire.
Oh, just started already. Get the camera off of our beautiful faces and into the game. I want to watch some CIS.
I want to see the beautiful draft. Where's the beautiful draft?
Oh, wait.
No, we haven't got it yet.
We have to talk
apparently
a bit.
got a little bit excited. No, we didn't. There we go.
There
It
we
is
go.
there. I knew you were hiding it. So here we go. Empire versus Espada. Now, Espada maybe feeling a little bit good. I mean, I believe they did lose to VP in the WESG finals, but to get there is pretty good with all the different CIS teams. Team
Of course.
Empire been looking pretty hot. Mainly, I don't want to like front too much compliments to one person, but Kuman has been playing out of his mind.
Yeah,
last few days.
it's Kuman man. Kuman man is very good man. Kuman man, he plays really well, man. Honestly, man, like he's talented, and he has been in a couple of teams so far. The latest one being this Empire, and I have not a doubt in my mind that that guy's gonna deliver in this best of three. As on the Team Empire, we have the Shaker and the Silencer opening, and honestly, I love the Silencer pick. We did see him quite a lot yesterday. Today, not as much, but it's definitely a stable position 5 that brings a lot to the table. Opens up possibilities for your draft as it shuts down a lot of heroes, and the Shaker as well. Man, can this guy shut you down once he gets that blink and Aghanims? Definitely a top meta pick, pretty much, and that's it. On the other hand, we have the Tiny and the Maiden. Well, Maiden, she was nerfed quite a bit, and people stopped kind of picking her. However, she's back, and she brought her friend Tiny with her, as they're both, well, Tiny also got nerfed, but he doesn't care.
It's okay. They can go to lane together. They can cry about the nerfs.
They can
talk
cry,
about it,
Well, look at
and
them.
then they can kick the crap out of someone because you have got slows in conjunction with a hero that offers not only stuns but a lot of right-click damage.
And you always have mana to use all of your spells, so...
Bingo.
Overall, Crystal Maiden plus Tiny, if they decide to roll that lane, they could be pretty strong, especially versus a Silencer. Like, he is good, but yeah, if you catch him, if you slow him down, then you combo him with the Avalanche Toss, he's a gunner. So, overall, a really aggressive lane. They have a lot of potential to set up this aggressive dual lane.
So I didn't get confirmation on this, whether this is the case or not. Is Cut? I assume that is Madden. I don't think that's a stand.
No, Kant is Kant. Like, that's a different guy.
Okay, so Cut is standing in and doing the drafting. Which
Yeah,
is
so he's a CIS dude. Played versus him a lot. Played with him in pubs. Haven't been in a team, but yeah, he's basically a position 5 player.
okay. It's just we don't often see this when a team gets a stand in just one. It's not usually your drafter,
Yeah.
even if it's your boss 5.
Yeah,
It's
usually you let someone else draft. But the thing is, the reasoning behind that, the reasoning behind getting a stand-in and then switching a drafter to someone else is because you know each other, you're a team, right? So why would some random dude that just came in for the first game draft for you? Well, you're in CIS, and everyone knows each other. Everyone has played with everyone. You know your strengths, your weaknesses, and then if a guy is a drafter, he can draft for any team because he's well aware of your hero pools. So that makes sense.
And, you know, conveniently, the hero pools that he knows of are all meta pick heroes so far. Nothing out of the ordinary.
So far, all meta. With this Weaver following up now. I mean, Weaver, man. This Kuman on the Weaver, man. Like, Weaver is really strong right now. And the hero can be played on offlane as well. Does not have to be that position 1. Does not
It's
have
a
to be
good flex pick,
Yeah, it's a really good flexible pick, which opens up your draft in multiple ways because it also denies Espada's drafter the ability to just instantly counter the Weaver because the Weaver can be on offlane or safe lane, right? So you can't really focus on the counters. However, you can utilize that Weaver as
You know, as a Rubik using the good old steel. and then
yeah,
becoming
exactly.
Weaver. A better
You don't
Weaver.
need me. You see. Basically, when you pick that Weaver, well, Rubik isn't really popular right now, so because of that, we don't see this counter quote marks very often. But Rubik is always good when you have a Weaver versus him, because he can steal that Sukuchi and then he moves around so well, moves around fast, doesn't need that dagger that fast, and with that Sukuchi steal he can initiate on someone with the telekinesis.
So that's why I was semi-ignoring you, because like as soon as I saw the Rubik pick, I went to my happy memories as a Rubik. You know, just scurrying around the map at a million miles an hour the whole time.
Yeah, overall I don't know though. Rubik, now that I think about it, is good. He can also steal the fissure. There's a lot of spells that he can steal between the... I mean, right now, the fissure and the Sukuchi are the ones that come to your mind instantly.
Yeah, but there's a silencer.
There's a
right?
silencer, however, and playing Rubik versus silencer is never really too easy, because you get last worded, you steal one spell and that's it. You can't really contribute much. Plus there's Arcane Curse, plus there's Global Silence, and you can't really afford to buy Yules. Perhaps Lotus or Yules are going to be necessary this game. But usually when we see a Rubik, we just see him as a Blink Dagger, right? Arcane Boots Blink and then something else.
Oh, fourth pick. It's actually going to be an Axe, so nothing too fresh or funky coming out, just the regulars. Axe, of course, making a recurring appearance.
Recurring appearance with his red muscles coming back. No, actually never going away. He's actually becoming a little bit boring at this point. Like every single game almost we see the Axe. I mean,
it's
I love the
surprising he ever disappeared, to be honest.
Yeah, but I do love Axe though. And the dual lane with Axe, even right now when he's played as a support is great, but in this game he's going to be a core. So this is most likely going to be either the Shaker plus Axe or the Silencer plus Axe.
Either one's strong,
yeah. With the Silencer you can kind of harass them a bit better, as you have the range, and also you have the slow from the Arcane Curse, so you can use Arcane plus Battle Hunger, which is really good. With the Earthshaker though, however, you can block them and maybe run them down, which is also not so bad.
I kind of think I wouldn't mind seeing Silencer plus Axe, and then just see either one, Rubik or Crystal Maiden. You can easily deal with.
Oh yeah. Well, the problem with Rubik is that he's not really potent on the lane, and now we have a Centaur, alright?
I'm not seeing the potency still here. There should be a tiny mid by looks of it though, so they can kind of mix this up a bit. But now you're putting the Centaur with either a CM or Rubik. You can't set up into a Stomp. Weaver's not going to be an easy catch though.
He's not an easy catch, but he has to be careful the way he plays versus Centaur, definitely is. If you get caught by that Stomp, you might just fall. Especially, you can also roll the Rubik plus the Centaur, it's not that bad, as you have that ability to just lift him into stun, so you can combo. It's much easier to catch Weaver, that's what I mean. Also Silencer. However, this whole draft of Espada makes me think that they are all in on their midder. Tiny is great as a carry, he can be very strong with that crit later on, right? The normal Daedalus build right now that we see often. However, at the same time, like, they need something that can really dominate the game in those late stages, and I don't see that hero right now for Espada.
It's problematic. I'm thinking where they want to go. You can't pick something like Storm, which would be good for the Silencer. You need something that basically is able to gank with the Tiny. And right now, basically, I'm looking at Espada's draft. They are all ganked. They don't have this late game carry, and there's not many mids that deliver that right now. The Templar Assassin does come to mind. Alchemist would be a decent pick for Espada.
Yeah, Alchemist makes sense. DA makes sense. I don't know, let's just see what they ban. With that ban, it should be a bit more obvious, as when Team Empire banned, they banned out the Ursa. Basically, it's so that the Axe doesn't get crushed on the lane. That's the reasoning behind it. However, I think that's the reason. But
that's typically the reason.
Yeah,
like, Axe does suffer a lot against that.
Ursa was also commonly picked versus Alchemist too on mid though, so there's that. They also banned out the Zeus. Zeus works well versus, let's say, Tinker, which comes to my mind for Team Empire. But let's see, TA is banned actually.
Yeah. This could still be an out then, because of course we've seen the TA out
yeah,
matches
TA
ups.
definitely does well versus him. So Alchemist comes to my mind as well. Maybe an Invoker wouldn't be too shabby, but there's a Silencer versus the Invoker too, so you have to itemize properly. You have to itemize with any hero versus Silence, to be honest, but still, some heroes struggle a bit more than others.
It's more about being able to get that gold. That's the biggest problem. So, running out of time. What's it going to be, Espada?
I really think they don't need like a true playmaker. They need something that's going to farm, that's going to go late. And there aren't many heroes that are left in the pool for for Espada.
That's the problem I'm
Can they?
seeing.
Can they? Like, I mean, you could still, even though there's Shaker and Axe versus you, you still could go for that Brood. That's not banned, but I don't think they are. Oh.
Okay, Wraith King.
Alright,
That's
so it's tiny mid.
yeah,
Alright,
and
it's
that's
tiny
what
mid.
that's what it was looking like from the get-go. But it's now revealed it to them, so Team Empire can count this out. And I don't mind the Wraith King pick.
No, not at all. It's fine. It's fine with the tiny mid. That makes a lot of sense. I was completely focused on the tiny side lane. I'm not certain why, because he's a viable mid still. It's just that we haven't really seen him play it mid a lot. A couple of.
There's only a
this
few
last-
teams
yeah.
that really like to play it there a lot.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
the thing I was going to say is Espada, they've set the timing to finish very low.
Yeah. Is this a Kunkka maybe? No, Dragonite. So there aren't many heroes that fare well versus Tiny. Basically, you want something that's tanky, that can sustain through his constant tree barrage. And basically, there's Dragonite, there's Kunkka. They opt to go for the Dragonite. The Dragonite kind of helps them with the push. The Dragonite, yeah, sets the tempo of the game. Like, you have a pace controlling hero in that Dragonite, someone that's gonna take down those towers, someone that's gonna actually force them to rotate to shut him down. And they can do that with the Tiny if he isn't careful enough.
And I actually really like that they picked the Dragonite, because right now you need to control the tempo if you're Team Empire. Because Espada, they've basically slapped it out. They said, this is what we're going to do. We are going to come fast and hard and just pressure. And what Dragonite does is he forces your attention elsewhere all the time, right? We've seen flexibility in this as well. Some teams, for example, Complexity is one that's done it recently, is they ran a gank and Dragonite. With that type, if you have the type of mid that can do that, then it's super effective.
No, Dragonite can fit many roles. Like, he can actually greed out and go super late into damage dealing with that plus 40 strength. He actually hits quite hard. He can also fit the utility role, the role of the tempo maker, the tempo controller, that is, in which he pressures your towers one by one. And he can also transition into that ganking hero, which you just mentioned, in which you go for Shadowblade or Link and you just roll across the map, get kills. So
It also doesn't get punished. So we've seen, for example, things like Dragonite picked against an Alk before. And the problem with that is, yes, you're going to take the tower, but while you're doing that, Alk is farming.
Alchemist is just
a crap
farming,
ton.
yeah. And
Whereas with the Tiny,
yeah.
he leaves to go gank.
and you take his tower, so you
Exactly.
can't really leave the Tiny all alone. Tiny has some kill potential on the Dragonite, but he needs rotations. It's very hard for him to just toss the Dragonite into the tower and hope for
He
the best.
shrugs it off.
Yeah, she shrugs it off. He's way too tanky. So yeah, I like the Dragonite pick in the end. The Wraith King pick is also fine. Wraith King got nerfed quite a lot, and in this game, it's not like they have some spells that are gonna be wasted if the Wraith King has his ultimate, right?
Yeah.
No big spells, just a global, right?
I think the big thing is that Wraith King, while he did get nerfed, the nerfs focused in such a way that it made him a crappy support. But it's still a pretty damn good core.
Yeah, he's still a good core, and I'm wondering, like, if you go for a diffusal on the Weaver, which isn't something that people do very often right now, perhaps you can deal with him. Yeah. So also, how good is he going to be versus the Axe is my question on the lane, if they manage to lane the Axe versus him.
Oh, Mango War barely won by Espada there, but they'll take the victories. They have one extra. Shaker brought a lot of mangoes, by the way, which I'm more of a fan of getting a clarity in place of that other mango and then just blocking the creep wave twice.
The mangoes are fine as well. The mangoes are all right. I like the clarities as well on Shaker. I have to agree with you there if you are blocking the creep wave. But the mangoes give you some regen too, and they give you that instant gain of mana, and you don't have to worry, especially as maybe you have noticed, he also has a stout shield.
Yeah, he's getting ready to brawl.
Yeah, so when you have a stout shield and you're in front, you're fighting, you don't really have enough time to use that clarity, because if you do, you're most likely out of position somewhere where you have to be, because if you get hit, the clarity is gone.
Oh, I was meaning for the initial blocks.
The initial blocks, definitely. Yeah. I agree with that. I agree.
He's chosen not to be there, though, and that'll probably be a result of not having that clarity at all. So
people aren't really doing those blocks any longer with Shaker. They aren't really messing with the creep equilibrium so far. Oh, the range creep is gonna go.
Nicely done by Dragonite, actually. That's a decent way to start. Dix does at least get the last hit, but it means there's going to be a little bit of pushing towards the end.
Espada, actually, with the...
Yeah, people believe in Espada. Well, they just saw them play today, and Team Empire, they don't know what's going on, especially with that standing. That's going to put question marks in the mind of a lot of bettors here.
Oh yeah, that's it. But Kant has been playing in a lot of CIS stacks before, and he's decent, he's good. I think they shouldn't have a problem with that stand-in. It is always different to play with the stand-in than with your true player, especially if the stand-in is the drafter as well.
What was his name again? How do you say it?
I mean, it's Kant. It is. Because
I just had to double check. I was like, is it?
Yeah, it is, because the
We're gonna call him Kot. All right,
Okay.
we're child-friendly stream.
Yeah, but
Kot. He's Kot. There you go.
That's Cyrillic though. I think that's Cyrillic. I'm pretty certain that's Cyrillic. So
You better hope it is, or this is
Yeah.
problematic.
who am I to flame him for his? Actually, that's a name as well. That's a common name. So I don't know what you're on about. Like that's a name. Am I gonna
Oh,
stop
no.
calling people names?
Kuman taking a lot of damage here. Ready to Shikuchi. They're gonna run him down. Can they get enough damage? No, they can't. Nice body blocks from Seiyu to ensure they can't get
Yeah,
close enough.
just save his little bug there with the body blocks and gets tipped instantly by immersion.
It's like, well played.
Well played.
Well
yeah.
done, good sir. Kuman can, you know, live, and Immersion can appreciate the talent of intimidating Earthshaker standing there.
Interesting. BZZ on the Centaur actually, not on the Wraith King. Well, yeah, he did play a very sick Mirana that last game we watched him. Oh,
And they can't ever get Kuman now. This is pretty difficult to achieve.
alright, it isn't. Like, if you lift him, you should be able to follow
but
up with the stun,
with
BZZ.
the Earthshake.
Yeah, but he didn't use the fissure there, did he?
Yeah, but he didn't need to. That's the thing. Last time, he actually almost killed his Weaver by doing that, so...
Yeah, this time he was a bit more careful about it. Misha dropping really low here, just by the battle hunger. He's a very squishy maiden.
But that's a preview, because if Silencer starts showing up with the curse as
yeah,
well,
with the
you are dead.
curse. Yeah, with the curse, definitely. It's gonna be a very problematic lane over here. But the Silencer right now is satisfied with pulling, it seems.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, if you look at this, Tiny already building a healthy lead. You expect this, but this is a substantial one for this point in the game.
Doubling the CS is not really what I expected. I expected Tiny to have a good game, but this is really awkward on mid.
It should be pretty even with the Brief Fire, but not the case. at all.
Exactly, yeah. Well, perhaps once he gets the Soul Ring, if he opts to go for that, and when he's able to spam it out a
If
bit
he can
more.
get his hands on it. The Porsche getting pretty low here. LTW just asserting dominance. This is kind of the power. This is the pass by point, right? Just before you get 2 levels in the Helix, which is when you can just immediately just clean up those skeletons. Before that, you are at risk of dying to a Wraith King very easily.
Yeah. As long as, like, the reason why they are pressuring in this hard is because Silencer is a little bit greedy when it comes to the pulls, right? He's trying to pull all the time. He's never in the lane. But it's fine, because if the Silencer gets a lot of levels early on and he gets that global silence on time, it makes the game much easier for them. So it's kind of justified with some heroes. However, if the Silencer was there more...
Oh, first blood on the top. Looks like they hit that combo you were talking about. And Seiyu, his positioning, because he's got that stout shield, he's put himself in a place where he can't save the Weaver because he's already in their face.
He had this fissure though, so I'm wondering, like, why don't you just break the combo? You don't have to do anything but cast the fissure on the Centaur. But before he's even tossed in, so
no, but that's what I was gonna say. Is he's up in their face all the time, which means he's not. He could get stunned. He can get do it.
Yeah, he can get stunned. But yeah, you're right.
Stun's coming out on the bot, but can't be chased onto. Miposhka is threatening now that he's hit level 4. They have been getting starved out a little bit on the side of Espada because of those pulls that Kat's been doing.
Yeah, Silencer has no mana here anymore, and this is where Crystal Maiden's power kind of kicks in. Her lane is always going to have the mana because of that aura, right? So.
And a rune. An Arcane Rune does tend to
Arcane
help a
Rune
lot.
definitely does help too, yeah. Only her though, not the Wraith King. But the Wraith King is satisfied with that aura. That's good enough. That's good enough for him. And here we see Dragonite with that Soul Ring. He's actually going to be doing a bit better now.
Rune secured on the top. Actually, Kuman's chased on an immersion here. You can't go too far though, even with the swarm on him.
Yeah, there's Lift. And the Centaur was yoinking their rune though. He went around and stole that bounty, so it's going to, on top lane at least, it's 1 bounty rune each.
So look at this so far. There's a small difference happening between the Axe and the Wraith King. There's a big difference happening between the Tiny and the Dragon Knight. We already highlighted that before.
Another Lift. There we go.
Stomp, they're going to connect. And they
Misha's
see
here.
everything. Misha's here as well. Kuma needs to escape, but I don't think he can. He's too low level. The double edge comes through. The final tap will be there, and Immersion gets the kill. And now Frostbite, they're going to get the second one. Earthshaker, going to use the enchant term. They need to move away. Last word on Immersion means he can't zap out the Fade Bolt, but it won't matter. Stomp is there. It's enough damage. They'll drop the Earthshaker as well.
They get the Shaker as well, and so far those odds, man, they're proving to be true, at least for now, at least in the laning stage.
Things could get grimmer and grimmer as it goes on, because my biggest concern is always his mid lane. It's always that Nyx. He's getting a lot of gold very quickly.
He's getting a lot of gold, plus he's denying so much from the Dragon Knight, which is making it really difficult for him to get his farm on time, obviously.
You can say the same for the Centaur. He's denying him a decent amount, but that double kill in the top lane did kind of turn things a little bit. Oh, nice stun. They interrupt the TP out by LTW, throws out the Ray Fire Blast, but now he has to do the Walk of Shame.
Yeah, he just goes back. Actually, the Shrine is there,
available.
so he can
He
shine
should use it. No. DM trying to move him. 3 heroes here, but he's so damn tanky. Get him down to half HP, but they'll move away. Miposhka did just TP mid. Frostbite's there. This may have been a mistake. The Avalanche comes out. They'll tap into him. Have they got enough damage?
It looks like he's fine as well.
Strength heroes. That's the solution. That's how you deal with this learner.
Yeah, you don't have too many heroes that actually work this way, right? Like you have the Dragon Knight and the Axe, and not too many more that can survive this early aggression from this Tiny, especially a Tiny that's actually so much ahead right now. It's actually level 7. He's doing really fine.
Just going to harass a little bit, but DM's too tanky at this point. He's
just trying to stop the creeps from reaching the tower, so that the Dragon Knight
is wasted.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want that Dragon Knight touching your tower ever when he has his form up. He takes it down so fast.
Centaur's doing pretty well as well.
Centaur is doing awesome. Like, Centaur is doing great.
He's had a lot of denies. Yeah, he's doing fantastic against the Weave.
The Weaver actually died. I actually thought that they are unable to use that combo properly if the Shaker helps, but they proved me wrong. And
well, they switch the lanes up, and they're going to find a kill on the bot. LTW, trapped here, is going to die. Meanwhile, in the mid, trying to move on to DM, but they haven't got enough damage to just wand up and move away. Another route with the pre-fire top, though. Centaur comes, and they'll make the move on to Miposhka. Now they're going deep, but they're getting range. Toss is there. DM falls.
Yeah, they actually wanted to... This is actually so unfortunate for DM, because they didn't use that ultimate for him.
It was a bonus.
Yeah, it was just convenient. It was a coincidence, actually, that he was also being chased at the same time.
This is interesting. Cart would just walk away.
Crystal
Maiden slightly. Oh, he gets him. Just enough. He used that Frostbite. Of course, the Arcane Curse lasting longer.
Yeah, that fissure was also there on point, and because of it, he dies. However, BZZ is back here against Kuman, and Kuman can't really deal with the Centaur. Like, he can farm, but the Centaur has that Vanguard, so he has to be really careful about the way he approaches him. If the Rubik rotates again, if he manages to lift the Weaver might fall again. He has those raindrops though, so he isn't the easiest kill any longer.
Yeah, he's a little bit more tanky, but still, right now your Weaver's the one performing best. That was the one.
Still Maiden top.
This is rinse repeat. He's dead again. They get the call out, but you can't run this out. Next gets the final tap of the tree. LTW will live. Turn around the bot lane though. BZZ, they want to go on the fissure. Wrong side. I'm afraid that's not going to happen.
Well, Espada are realizing how much strength they've got and what heroes they have to use to get these kills. I don't feel that Empire is doing the same. They aren't really finding ways of taking good ganks and rotations so far.
Speaking of ganks, they might go for this here. Much taking a lot of damage, but RDM in trouble. They toss in, they control him up. The Avalanche is there, and DM made a mistake. Trying to move away. Nice fissure coming out. Say will protect his Dragon Knight.
Yeah, that Shaker fissure was on spot. They didn't have the telekinesis either to get him back, so because of that he survives, and that was really well played by the Shaker. A good rotation. Sadly, Miposhka rotated in, and this Axe is suffering. Like, usually in the last couple of days, whenever we were watching an Axe play, he would have minute 5:50 Vanguard, maybe minute 7. This is already minute 10 without it. He's fine.
No, not that. They got all the bounties.
Bounties! Four bounties!
For Espada.
Espada.
They invested heavily to try and get their hands on that as well.
That's it. This is it.
GG, game gone.
GG, just call it. call it 4 bounties, man. Come on.
I mean, the good news is the Wraith King is still suffering a lot when it comes to his net worth. He didn't have the easiest lane. He's been punished a decent amount.
That's
so
true. So the Wraith King didn't have a good game, and he's not really the best hero versus Weaver either. So yeah, that's their silver lining coming out of this laning stage.
The big problem, though, is that Dragon Knight has not been able to push towers at all. And
Yeah.
you are, at the 11-minute mark, you were hoping to have a tower down to half HP by now.
Yeah, that tempo control that we talked about, it's really not there because the Tiny won that mid lane too hard so far. He had all the denies and the last hits, and because of that, yeah, DK is kind of struggling. He's not really trying to even go for that tower anymore.
Merchant's having the time of his life. He's got the Shikuchi now. Uh-oh, he found Seiyu as well, who does not have level 6. Fade Ball comes out, telekinesis lift. He actually does a steal. The Fissure's there. Making a little cross with him.
Nice. Scissors.
Yes, beautiful.
They scissored with their fissures.
But no one was in the middle, so there's no cutoff. But DM is here. They can push this out, and they need to do this. This is crucial timing for Empire to start taking buildings.
Well, they are committing 4 heroes here to go for this tower, and they must make sure that they get this tower at least.
Look at BZZ. He's like, I am the guard. I'll stand here.
I mean, he's bodyguarding this tower.
He's so damn tanky as well.
With that Vanguard, they might be able to kill him, but it's hard.
No, there's telekinesis lift. The Stampede jumping in. Kuman. No, the stun control. Nicely done. The timeless comes out. Kuman is close, but he'll move away. The tree toss. Is it going to get him? Yeah, no.
Nope.
Just out of range as a fade. Merchant still going. He
though.
wants this. He's got Shikuchi, but a little bit of Shikuchi on Shikuchi actually doesn't work when one's always running away.
They're going to get DM instead.
No, they
maybe.
don't. Dragon Tail, nice reaction there to stop BCZ with a storm, but DM should be able to walk this one off. Nyx isn't close enough right now.
He's
Cuts
going
the
to have
trees.
mana.
There's the Crystal Nova. They'll go on top of him and they might be able to kill him now. The toss forward. They should have a stomp available and they'll double edge him up, maybe. There he is.
Yeah, they had mana for telekinesis as well if they needed it. Opted not to go for it. Overall, I guess they lose the Weaver kill, but they did get the Dragonite kill. And this is awful for Empire because their pressure is falling apart. Once again, they aren't really managing to find these towers. Silver lining, Weaver didn't die. He was very low there, but managed to survive. They don't have that. They didn't have that global that fight, did they? They didn't use it, so
No.
perhaps once they have that global, they might be looking to take a favorable fight. They can maybe try to bait them in a fight like that one, and then use the global to counter-attack.
It is still quite worrying here because, of course, I'm trying to think the power spikes, right? We said Espada, they need to actually be aiming for an early finish. And we were praising this Dragon Knight pick because we've been delay things so much. But as you said, he's had no impact so far. DM has been able to do nothing on the map.
I mean, you want to finish early, but in the current meta, it's not that easy. Oh, we have
Ball
this
coming out.
ball.
They found the Rubik. No more Shikuchi antics from him. Last word means it will be his last word. Maybe no, he's going to get the Shikuchi away. He's fine.
He still has Arcane and the Hunger on him, but he should be fine.
It's
He
going to be
should
close,
survive.
but he should pick out. Meanwhile, Avalanche in the mid lane. Kuman's dead.
Is he gonna tick out?
No, he is. Oh, it's too long.
Yeah, it's the Sukuchi because he used it. The
Again
Arcane
and
Curse.
again.
Yeah,
Yep.
Arcane Curse went back up, and because of that, he ticks out. He could have actually went to the shrine, so that was a mistake. If he
How badly does he want the Shikuchi?
yeah, if he just went to the shrine, he would have survived for sure. So
BZZ wants to make a move here. He has the Stampede. He doesn't know about the Earthshaker yet. Go back away though.
he wants the
Oh, there's a blink in. Nyx tossing back on the DM here. The Avalanche going to come up. The Dragon Tail in return there. Cross speeding up. There's the Fissure. Seiyu, he hasn't actually helped Dragon Knight out here. He stopped BZZ from getting on top of him, but now he had to take a long way away. The Stampede's going to be there. They're going to run him down. There it is, the toss in the air. And when he comes down, DM's going to default. Eventually.
well, he's creating a lot of space, right? DM is doing that at least. I mean,
It's not really the tempo controller that you designed this draft
but
for.
he is controlling their tempo by dying time after time. But he's doing that. He's controlling their tempo. He's controlling the way they're playing.
That's not controlling nothing, actually. The one being controlled here is Earthshaker. He's dead.
There we
Double
go.
kill for Misha. This is a nice little rich TM now.
Well, they can go and take this tier 1. The problem here and why the Dragonite is dying, why he's suffering so much, is the fact that the Axe suffered in his laning stage so much that he is still catching up. He's still building towards that dagger. He just recently finished the Vanguard, so he needs, I think, like 500 more gold. So they have to wait for that Axe to get the dagger to be able to actually make a proper fight. So what do they need? They need the dagger on Axe and they need a global after. And with that combination of spells, items plus spells, they might take a good fight. But it's hard. It's getting harder too.
The problem is you're in this scenario where Kuman's
This
going to die.
is a blink.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Freezer field committed, not needed, but ensures the kill nonetheless. But the thing I was going to say is, yes, Axe, not too far off the blink now, but guess what? Centaur has one too.
Centaur has it and the Tiny.
They do the same thing in these fights.
You have the Centaur blink, you have the Tiny blink, and the Wraith King is just farming and chilling. He's enjoying himself, so he's moving towards that armlet after that. Actually, he might go for that blink after as well. I'm not certain it's necessary, to be honest.
I would rather, I'd rather see Armlet into Radiance, because in this type of game, you've got Tiny and Centaur blinking in already.
Exactly, I would love to see Armlet and Radiance too first. With the blink though, you can jump on the either Weaver or the Silencer, I suppose, and make sure that they die, but at the same time, if you go for the Radiance, you still have plenty of ways of initiating. You have the Centaur with the ultimate and the blink, and the Tiny with the blink, so...
No. Speaking of Centaur, Stampede comes out, DM's been found, the Global Sun's been used, and he will just TP out, Dragon Knight down on his knees, saying, please don't kill me.
He manages to. Yeah,
and
really.
Poshka was waiting as well, but he'll just TP out.
And Poshka has that dagger, but...
They don't know.
So, there, if they had more players, maybe they could have taken a fight, but with that Global, right? But they didn't. It was only the two of them, and just the two of them, even with the Global, they aren't strong enough.
The problem with that is that's a full defensive Global Silence for one hero to get out.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not great, especially as Dream is kind of becoming irrelevant at this point. He really isn't doing a lot. If he isn't taking towers in these team fights, he's very under-leveled. He's not going to contribute a lot. He doesn't even have level 2 Dragon form.
They might move on RDM now. Great Fire Blast comes out, the Skelly Bros are up, RTW moving forward, there's a Stomp coming out, the Zap down, he's getting low and he's going to fall. And they will take a tower as well.
Yeah,
so
this is basically an entrance skill for the tier 2, and he's really not finding his place on this map. So far, he's not able to do absolutely anything.
He's the poorest core in the game. How often do you see a Dragon Knight this far down the network?
Yeah, this doesn't really happen way too often, and
that's the thing. People, they got sick of seeing Dragon Knights like, it's a boring pick, it just ensures you do okay. And when no, he's not doing okay, Cut is dead. Nyx finds him, and now Poshka needs to back away because Centaur's on his way in. Misha with the slow for the Crystal Nova, the Frostbite control, and goodbye, Mr. Axe.
They get rid of the Axe, they get rid of the Dragon Knight, they get rid of the Silencer. I mean, they aren't backing off at all. They're controlling this game completely.
He's getting a little bit out of control, and I think the thing to kind of highlight here right now is this gets worse because Rubik, as he gets levels in his aura, as we're already seeing 2 in there, we saw how much damage done to an Axe. An Axe and a Dragon Knight on the same team, good luck living.
Weaver should be fine.
Kuman will just go for TP out. Nyx doesn't have the control, he already used the Avalanche. Fair, you know, the raindrops save his life, right?
Definitely, he has to keep the raindrops in his inventory all the time. If he doesn't, this Tiny can just solo him. And once the Tiny has Echo Saber, which he's going to have very soon,
then he's probably dead anyway.
Then he's probably dead anyway, exactly.
Unless he gets a stat item himself. And Weaver's not farming too badly. He's farming better than the Dragon Knight we talked about. But they're both suffering a lot compared to the Tiny, who is sitting up at almost 9k gold already.
The problem is you go for a stat item and then you don't do enough to the Wraith King. Because later on, this Wraith King is going to be just as much of a problem as the Tiny, as the Centaur.
He wants to be a problem now. Nyx just found a haste. I let the ping come from me. She's like, here, right here. We go from here.
They know exactly where they are, but because mid lane is being pushed in, it's very hard to connect to them. So
yeah, if he had that smoke that he just bought, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you could go through, but it's very obvious because of those creeps that are attacking your tower. Usually, if you smoke up while your tower is being attacked, you're just wasting the smoke.
The good news is they can still push in because the Sparta are in a pretty certain point where they can just take towers, and Empire really struggle to respond.
What they are doing though, right on the side of Empire, is they're taking over the dire jungle. They're warding it. There's a ward there, and because of that, they might push this tier 2. However, yeah, they should. The only problem is the pressure that might come on the bottom tier 3 from the side of Wraith King. Yeah.
Because RTW hasn't really been pressured for a long time now. He's just been doing whatever he wants. And he might want to hit some builds now.
Yeah, he's on. Dragon Knight is on retreat, Axis as well. The Weaver is split pushing. Yeah, he's split pushing properly. Might get the tower in deny range, or might even take it, because the Wraith King alone does not really threaten him. Well, Weaver goes back.
They might bet again. The Fissure's going to be there. They can't get close enough. We look to move away. They stole the Fissure as well. Immersion's ready to set up a counter kill.
Yeah,
so DM needs to be careful about how far forward he comes.
So many good spells. This is like a perfect Rubik game. If you steal the Fissure, you contribute so much to your fights. If you steal the Sukuchi, you can always be in position to either steal the fissure or some other good spell. So a really decent Rubik performance as well.
Yeah, he's been on point with his maneuvers. He's been doing pretty well. 2-1-8 is the score right now. Rubiks are usually thrown under the bus, but in this game, I mean, Empire only have 3 kills to their name. You know, actually, no. Let's criticize this correctly. Immersion, he has 1/3 of his team's deaths. Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. Shame on yourself, Immersion. What have you done? Feeder.
GG, no re, go next.
Yeah.
But
Well,
while that's happening, top, RTW continues to push.
yeah, he actually didn't opt to go for that Blink Dagger. Just, I mean, it's
I'm
the two
glad
of
of it,
us.
yeah.
It's the two of us. We told him not to, and
Yeah,
he instantly
actually,
listens.
he's still got queued.
Yeah.
But I assume he won't.
He has
He
it
better
queued,
not.
but because he has 3.5k gold,
You can assume he's going
yeah,
for the relic now.
yeah, exactly.
He listens to us, right? He needs a few coaches.
I mean, you can go and you should go for the Blink Dagger afterwards. It's all right, but the
Or
Radiance,
afterwards, you could go Blink or Blade Mail.
Yeah.
Because, of course, it just lets you push more. And Stampede coming out. The controls there, the Global Silence. But no, DM can't move away quick enough this time. There'll be no TP out shenanigans. The Avalanche is there. The Freezing Field down. And Dragon Knight will fall. And Cart just TPs out in the river.
Yeah, so you go for that global again, a defensive global to save your Dragon Knight, and this time you don't even manage to save him. So, not really looking great. They aren't making any aggressive moves, and they aren't really on point when they try to chase someone. Like, if you remember on mid, when they tried to fissure Nyx and to catch him, they didn't manage. And speaking of
Speaking
Nyx,
of Nyx, he sees Miposhka here thanks to the ward. The Avalanche toss. Goodbye, Mr. Axe.
yeah, Immersion is there as well with his aura to help it out a little bit.
They'll just keep pushing now. The creep wave pushing in. They can actually take the final out tower if they want to, or look towards Roche. The options are open for the side of Espada.
Axe disappearing from Tiny. What do you think about that? Axe.
That's a sad. That's very demoralizing because so far Kuman's been making all this space for his team. The problem is his team should be making space for him. Weaver is the big hard hitter in this game.
Yeah, I like I like how he itemized as well the hood and the diffusal, but it's still very problematic game for him as he isn't scaling as well as this Tiny or the Wraith King, not at this pace at least.
Both of which can kill him pretty quickly. Even the Wraith King, if he gets one big fat crit without
Nisha.
Sacred Relic, you're dead.
Might find the sounds.
Yep, Frostbite comes out. Fission nicely placed, but it won't matter. PCC with the Stomp, double edge in, and the steal from Immersion with the Fade Bolt.
What do you mean steal? He's just
Secure,
there to
definitely secure.
He's securing, exactly.
Oh, buyback just came out from the Silencer. Now they're trying to go to work. Centaur needing to move away. Has the Stampede, but Nyx on the back foot. The Avalanche comes out. No, the dieback from Carr. Sparta going to be trying to get out of here. BCC down to half HP, but he's so damn tanky. How do you get through him? The Fissure to slow him down, that might help. The Dragon Tail as well. The stun control's looking good, but he's so damn tanky. They'll finally get this horse.
The dunk is there, man. They get the Centaur
They
as
needed
well.
it. He might have lived for another 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds.
There's dieback when you're position 5, but he doesn't have a single item anyway.
Gold is even though in the end as a result of that.
Yeah, like it's whatever. It's a position 5. You had to get the kill there.
That's the problem though. Kuman been found. The
the
toss
hood.
wasn't onto him though. He'll be fine. Nyx gonna be jumped on him. Miposhka with the jump with the call is good, but there's just a TP out. Nyx says
Oh,
I've seen this happen
Shaker's
before,
there.
but it won't work. The Fissure from a Shaker. Just on point and Nyx will fall.
Alright, they're getting there. These 2 kills are actually huge for them as they not only get the gold, but they slow down the pace of the game in which Espada was completely dominating, right? And Espada, look at those wards on the left side around the shrine. They had 3 wards there.
It's heavily concentrated, yes.
Yeah, it's not really great. So
A little bit overkill.
one
Considering 2 of those wards would have done the same vision as 1 on the hill.
Exactly. So they don't really have a lot of vision on the top lane, and because of that, playing in that dire jungle it shouldn't be very hard for Empire. They might go on. I mean, they can go on Centaur again, but if they do, they're gonna be punished. That tier 2 is gonna most likely be an access point for the rest of his team. Oh.
BZZ is here. The TP comes from Wraith King. The Stomp won't connect. The blink away from Miposhka. Nice cover with Seiyu with the Fissure.
No,
They could get the tower though.
he actually got hit by Radiance there, so he if they knew where he was, if they knew that he was hit, they could have pursued.
Most definitely. And this is
Haste.
the stage where Sparta need to look towards that Roche.
Rubik has the haste.
But instead they need an entrance kill first, especially with the Global Silence being available again. They need to find something, but I gotta give credit to Team Empire. So far, they are being
Very
patient.
disciplined. Very
Yeah,
disciplined.
very disciplined.
Yeah, they're playing in a very disciplined way. Not giving away way too many kills after that horrible start into the mid game. Kuman has been farming this whole time. He hasn't really He's been having a good time, but the rest of his team not as much. The rest of his team is still having problems.
He has been making a lot of space though, and we said the Weaver is
Yeah.
a concentration for damage that they need to succeed.
And now they're losing their last tier 2 actually, which kind of explains the wards. One ward, but still.
One would have done the
Yeah,
same as the
one
Free.
would have done the same, but
This sets up for the Roche.
exactly. They have a decent actually Roche.
They do. The Wraith King's
taking
pretty
team,
tanky.
yeah.
The Centaur can tank the whole thing actually, and Tiny hits hard. But they're not feeling pressure to do so. Espada are just slowly taking control of this game, and Team Empire is on them to make a move soon.
Oh, there we have a smoke.
All right,
Who are they
Espada.
gonna? I mean, they know where they are.
Yeah,
They're
they're gonna
drawing
flash,
it. But
They're both smoking.
Misha, why are you
They're
going
both
first?
smoked.
Oh,
Sayu, they're going to sneak past. No, they jump in and find Kart is dead. Oh, okay, is he going to get... No, Global Stance, he throws it out because he holds on the double edge, and now they might be able to turn around. A lot of damage being done. The call's going to come up with Poshka. Good control on the Wraith King. BZZ needs to get involved in this, but he can't. RTW, the Wraith Fire Blast, throwing out the Echo. There it is. Jumps in, the dunk down. Wraith King dead once. BZZ down to half HP. Immersion chasing forward, forcing away. The Spirit Vessel Dragon Knight can't fight, but now, Cuban on the back foot. He'll survive. That hood keeping him alive. The turnaround's there. DM is going to force. RTW gets a double kill.
yeah, they get 3 here. Weaver does survive though, but you have to force these buybacks. You either go Roche or force buybacks right now.
They're going high ground. They want to force those buybacks all the way.
Yeah, they're kind of low, BZZ and Immersion, so they should be a bit careful. But
LTW needs to be super careful actually because his level 2 reincarnate, he won't have it available again if they buy back and find him.
yeah, this fissure is gonna
Beautifully
slow.
done.
Yeah.
And Kuman's caught the
Kuman?
wave. Oh, he might actually find the core hit. No, Glyph comes out. They already knew what he's up to.
They see him. Oh.
They could jump him here. He needs to be careful. Oh, BCC too late with the stomp. Kuman will move away. And he buys enough time, they don't have to commit the buybacks. And now suddenly Espada are going to be question marks in the mind as to why they didn't go to the Roche.
Yeah, I love the way they're moving the courier around as well. Not taking any chances because Weaver was ready and waiting. But yeah, that fissure was perfect. Delayed that push. If they took tier 3, then they would have
Oh,
made
they punish him. Nyx has found out his time. The stomp is there, and Kuman is gone.
Right.
You can't... He does it once, yes. You do it twice, it's predictable.
So now the question is, do you do the same thing again and fail, or do you just go straight Roche?
Stampede coming out, needs to move forward. The Dragon Tail's there. DM just jumped out of his base. He's alone here. He's not got any assistance.
What are you
Cast
doing?
moving away. Sayo on the back foot. He's almost dead. Nyx just trying to tap him out across the tree. Nice blink away, though. Earthshaker's alive. The buyback was forced out of Weaver. Misha, so deep. Sayu just trying to escape here. He might run into an issue in the moment, but Misha's going to fall in the meantime.
Sayu.
It's a 1-for-1 trade as Sayu doesn't get found by Nyx. Oh, no, the call.
Koshka
Off
misses.
the mark.
Nyx
Immersion
out.
needs to be careful here. Fissure to make sure he can just TP out.
Quite a lot of spells missed there, but overall...
Just a few.
No, overall, the Shaker dies for Crystal Maiden. I think Espada is... Yeah, you don't want to be losing anyone on the side of Espada, to be honest, but... if you have to lose someone, better be Crystal Maiden or the Rubik, so... Overall...
Definitely, I'd say it's definitely looking grim when you think it from the network perspective. But at the same time, Team Empire, with that kind of gold lead, Espada should have been able to take some sort of push on base now.
I mean, Espada should just take Roche, I believe.
I mean,
That
we've
should
been
be the
calling
thing.
it for
Yeah,
the last 3-4 minutes.
The last time when they tried to go high ground and the Fissure stopped them, I think they should have been in Roche.
And
back
Nyx
then.
is too busy hunting though. He found Poshka, Avalanche tosses there, BZZ with the follow-up stomp. They'll get the kill on the very tanky Axe. Not looking so tanky between those two.
That's not really tanky indeed. I mean, how do you... The Axe has to be so poor to die like that to a Tiny. Like, it's one of
It's
those
rough.
naturally tanky heroes. But,
It is indeed.
but he needs some items, so she hasn't been the luck of farming in this game.
He's not there for the longest period of time either, so once again, Espada not going to that Roche pit.
Oh, is that what it is? You die a lot so that you respawn fast.
The FNG Undying tactic, as we like to refer to it.
Makes sense, makes sense. Be smart.
Very smart. And oh, look at this pressure. Espada, I think we are in full agreement. We've already said, Roche, go to the Roche pit. They're
afraid.
wasting valuable time like this.
Yeah, they're still spread out on the map. Basically,
They're farming, but
Yeah.
my point is like they're at a stage where we said, as this goes later, Espada should start to peak off a little bit compared to the lineup.
you're just trying to make them throw. That's what you're doing. You
Human. He is getting close to the mark. There's the Shikuchi in time. They're pinging out, but it's too late. He's going to make his escape.
Oh, is he?
Oh no! No, they found him. He TP'd instead of just running. Meanwhile, while it's happening, there's going to be a Fissure coming out, trying to move forward. They might find the kill on the Rubik in return. Yes, they will. The stun control is good. He was trying for the bounty, and he didn't even get it.
The Shaker dies too. In the
Shaker to
back.
go down.
Yeah, Wraith King got him. And
LTW
look at this.
sniped
He's alone. He's running after 3 and they're
He's-
running away. They're just spreading out. Let's bail.
I mean, this is the Blink Dagger Wraith King with the level 3 Reincarnate. He's ready to pummel someone in the face. He's going to find a prime target. The Global Silence wasn't used yet. Cart, he's going to fall here.
Yeah, he's gonna pummel that card.
Burn, baby, burn. There it is. He goes down. DM needs to move away quickly, being slowed down. BZZ with the jump and the Who Stomp, the freezing field as well. They're going to get the kill on Dragonite. And hello, base. You know what? They didn't need Roche after all. They just needed Team Empire to come out one by one and die.
Yeah, I mean, usually if you go 1 by 1 in these fights and you feed, you're gonna lose your base. And they're gonna lose the tier 3. After that...
Oh no, they found Axe. The Blinks just shift in places, but Miposhka can move away quick enough. Kristanova's there. And guess what? So's LTW with the Wraithfire Blast. Going to zone out anyone else as Nyx finishes off the kill. DM is going to stun up on the Wraith King, but he can't even kill him once. The buyback's there from Miposhka. You're going to need one hell of a call though. Especially when they're split up. LTW doesn't even give a damn. There it is. Call comes in. Big creep wave just trying to drag the Centaur in there. That's not the prime target he needed.
Well,
They are slowing it down.
They should be able to take these Raxes as they still have 10 seconds. Well, at least the ranged ones. Not even the ranged ones, they're bailing? Or,
No,
I mean,
they are worried.
Tiny could have hit it one more time, to be honest.
It's the Global Silence though. The Global Silence is still there, and there's not really much in the way of BKBs available. Wraith King is zoning really well. It's just Tiny's reluctant to hit the buildings. LTW still alive. Lotus on him.
There we go.
There we go. He finally tapped the building. The Catapults have been working very hard to get the other racks.
Yeah,
Reincarnate will be popped, but Wraith King can just move away. Skelly Bros doing the work. No! The call! His Bros used against it. The Global Silence as well. Wraith King, LTW is going to die for a second time. They get him with the dunk. That's a huge kill. They do lose a lane for it, but now they need to find more to make it worthwhile.
Misha
did force out the time lapse. He should be fine. Immersion with the telekinesis there. BZZ turning around here. The damage is huge. The Stampede to move away. They get the kill on Miposhka.
For some reason, though, Team Empire wasn't fully committed to that chase.
They won, and now they're going to try again. The Dragon Tail on the back foot. The Avalanche, though, they're finding kill for kill as the support's going to start falling. Misha's next to go. Oh, Echo! There it is. The turnaround. They get the Rubik. And suddenly, Tiny's in full retreat. BZZ's been found, though. He's going to blink away just before the last working trigger. But that
All right.
That went not too bad for Team Empire, considering the grim start.
Yeah, considering how it all started, it wasn't so bad. They did die back on the Axe. They bought back on the Silencer as well. It's not great. It's not great, but it could have went worse, especially when they were chasing and when the Axe died. Like, they are chasing, but at the same time that they are chasing, half of the team is just standing back and farming the creeps, even though there's no reason to outpush. The Raxes are already gone.
But I like what Sayu did there. That was an echo onto Rubik, and most people go, lol, what the hell, that's not worth it. But there was an issue, and I think you noticed it as well. We complained about the retracted engagement originally from Empire. They were doing it again. They were very slow. They were hesitant because of what Tiny done. If you don't commit the echo, I think Empire just don't know what to do.
Yeah, you can. Exactly. The Rubik and the Tiny, they bring so much control to the fight that you have to kill one. You have to take one down, and after you do that, then perhaps you take the rest of the fight. You just have to blow everything up in one dude, and after that, hope for the best. Because
basically, take a kill, flip the fight.
Yeah, I mean, and even when you do that,
they're still pretty tanky. The other people are worrying. And this will be a wake-up call for Espada, because LTW was a little bit too bold in that last engagement.
Yeah, and because of that, the Centaur has already lined up Aghanims for the next item in line. As when he gets that Aghanims, it's gonna be much easier for them to take these fights. As it wasn't already easy.
Kuman, they found him. Nice stomp coming in as a lift as well, and he's dead. They won't be able to stop it with a fissure. The freezing field dancing the Misha. No buyback available, and this could be damn. And LTW ready to roll.
Can we just see Tiny with the double damage Shadow Blade Daedalus when he jumps in? Look at that. Look at that beast.
Miposhka with the call. Nick's getting ready to move. He needs to be careful with the blade mail, though. They're just trying to get rid of all the creeps. Slow this down a little bit, but they're going to lose a lane regardless.
Yeah, Nyx is just going to pummel the tower instead. I hope that he was going to blink in with that DD and just whack someone with a crit. That would be insta-gib right there.
Yeah, but, you know, you could just take these buildings. They don't fight back as well.
Of course.
LTW moving in pretty deep here on the DM. He will be silenced up. There's a stomp coming out from BZZ. The Avalanche to the back foot, the toss away. He's trying to set up for a double kill, but he'll only get one. Carter's down, and he'll shake it down to half HP.
That silencer disappears there.
He does.
Miposhka. They know where he is.
This is a curious choice. Wraithfire Blast comes out. The blade mail's been used, but BZZ does have the stomp. They're just trying to stack him up. The toss just getting him away. He's almost dead here. Nice 4-star. But now DM in a little bit of trouble. Telekinesis lift, dragging him back with the frostbite. He's going to go down. The crits are too big. Spirit Vessel on him. He can't do anything. The Stampede through him. Miposhka, he stands alone here because Sayu is doing nothing. GG. Team Empire in many people's eyes, might have been the favorite for this, but already one game down to Espada.
As you said, Espada is looking really good right now. The bets did kinda go in favor.
Support that, yeah.
the
But we
bets did
thought that was,
support
in fairness, they had a really good game earlier. You can understand that that might inflate a little bit. And you think about the individual talent, Kuman, like we said, he's one of the most shopped after players in the region. But the stand-in, it seems like the variable that could be costing Empire this, because Cut, he chose a hero that you'd think is simple to execute, but a lot of those defensive global silences, the first one, great. Every other one, they still lose the person they're trying to protect.
I have a feeling that their draft could perhaps work, but if they had a good laning stage. Their laning stage was really bad. The Dragon Knight suffered a lot. He wasn't able to actually position himself on the map properly in a way in which he could dominate them, take one tower after another, pressure them, make them react. But in fact, they did react to him. But that reaction usually just led to him dying and nothing more, right?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen a Dragon Knight have that bad of a time.
Yeah, and after the laning stage, it just felt that they have no damage. Like, the Tiny jumps in, he blows you up. You jump onto anyone, Centaur ults, and they're gone. And that's it. Yeah, you have the global silence, but it just didn't feel like it was enough. And every global that they used was defensive. I don't think it's also only the draft. I think or the laning stage. It's the way they executed after it. They felt a bit lost. They were never on the offensive. They didn't have those moves. All right, guys, we're losing. Let's go as 5. Let's smoke up. Let's regain control at least on this side of the map. No, what they do is they smoke up as 3. Someone is farming on the other side, just dies instantly on that side because he's dead. They all pour. They fight 5 versus 4.
Yeah, I mean, we already highlighted that big fight where it looked, okay, not too bad. They got rid of RLTW, started to flip a few kills. But we said multiple times, you could see the hesitation. It seemed like Empire, they just didn't know what they wanted to do anymore. And
by that point, it was way too late, right?
Well, that's the thing. Maybe that was another thing, because usually I'd imagine Madden's going to be that voice in there, trying to set them up for this. Kant might be a little bit nervous. You know, he's just come in. I mean, he is an experienced dude, but he doesn't necessarily play with these guys that often.
Yeah, of course. There has to be that issue as well. It's always an issue with stand-ins, right? So we're going to have to wait and see if that works out for them in the second game of this series.
Let's see if that is something they pick up, or maybe they go for a different draft. We saw it with actually Liquid been doing it recently, is instead of having Kuroky, they'll get Miracle to do a draft. And it has mixed results. Let's
don't go that way.
Kuman, do a draft. We'll find out in just a few minutes if that's going to be the case, as this is a best of 3. So we'll be back in a few minutes to see Game 2 between Espada and Empire.